The wave channels too. That's unusual for the Stranglers, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a change.
Have you decided to change your music, or have you always had records like this on your LPs?
Yeah, there's always been a quirky track on every album that's been a bit different, and it's just so happened that this one was released as a single. And but there've been, in the past on our albums, there've been songs as different as this.
How difficult is it for a group like you, that are highly individualistic, to equate commercialism with what you yourselves want to achieve?
Well, we're not really worried about things being commercially successful as long as we can still survive and continue doing what we're doing and maintain control over our work, rather than let other people control it.
Right. Since this hit, do you think the record companies are going to take more notice of what you yourselves want to produce?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think from now on we'll have a lot more control over what we do, what goes out.
You're off to the States. You seem to go over there quite a bit. How do they take to the Stranglers?
They're quite surprised because from what they read in the newspapers, they get one impression of us, and then they actually see us and they say, God, you're not at all like I thought that you'd be from reading what I read in the papers, which is quite encouraging.
They seem to be several light years behind us in certain respects and certain trends. Have you found that?
Yeah, apparently they're just in Los Angeles. They've suddenly decided that punk is the greatest thing since God, and I don't know if they can relate to it in Los Angeles though, but apparently they are relating to it, and this is like 5 years after the event.
You've had a pretty hairy 18 months. You've had all sorts of disasters hit the group. The tour manager died and various roadies fell ill, etc. Was there a point where you ever thought you might split up?
Well, a couple of points when there was one when all our equipment was stolen in America and it hadn't been insured, just after we'd started a tour there, when we were seriously considering flying straight home. But you've just got to look at these things as being challenges, and you can rise above them.
What sort of advice would you give to groups coming up at the moment, the young, raw groups? Because you've been together since '74. It's a long time.
That's right, yeah. I'd say don't look for any favours from anybody. Just work hard, and your hard work will be rewarded sooner or later.
Well, we're going to see an extract from your work now. Golden Brown. Looks fantastic. And let's hope it'll be #1 soon. Hugh, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
The thing that's amazed us the most about it, I think, is that it's getting played on radio too. And it's David Hamilton's Record of the Week, which we think is so bizarre that it's quite funny. And, because it's something we never expected would happen. We've had such a strange reputation in the past that this just adds to the complete strangeness of the whole thing, We're very pleased, of course.
And pleased they should be, because Golden Brown is the Stranglers' first major hit in well over 2 years. Years which seem to show the band beginning to fade along with the general decline of punk music. The Stranglers had more than their fair share of trouble too. Hugh Cornwall's jail sentence for drug offences was just one of the problems they faced, as he told us.
We had all our equipment stolen in New York, and it was not insured. We had tour managers dying on us. We had sound crews walking out on us the day eve of a tour of America, things like this. A lot of financial difficulties and court cases and prison sentences and everything. And it seemed like over a period of 18 months there was one catastrophe after another. And we thought, my God, what's the next word? Nothing can happen worse than this. And yet next day something did happen. So we spent 18 months like staving off all this bad luck, trying to survive, basically. And we did survive. And as soon as we started work on La Folie, the last album, everything started changing, the vibe changed, everything was going well again.
That change of style has taken the Stranglers to #2 in the charts. And for Hugh Cornwall, the new direction is all down to the time the band spent touring the States.
In America, nearly everybody's very direct with you, and I think that directness has rubbed off on us in the amount of time we've spent there, and so the music has become very direct again. And I think that people are going to realise that the band is very talented in a lot of different directions, and now we're getting the opportunities are being offered to us. Everyone wants to know us, and all we say is, well, that's fine, because now we get the opportunity to show our talents, and we're going to do that. So I think people over the next year are going to realise just how talented the Stranglers are.
Hugh Cornwall with a message, but not, sad to say, with that brilliant harpsichord intro. To hear that, you're going to have to wait for the complete chart rundown, introduced for us now by DL.
Radio 1, this week's Top 40.
Yes, indeedy, it's this week's Top 40 time now, and let me remind you once again that there are 20 going down, 8 going up, 4 non-movers, and 8 new entries. Well, 2 of those new entries are back-to-back, down at 40 and 39. At 40, glad to see Depeche Mode have made it with See You. At 39, particularly glad, as I'm sure you're aware, having heard the lady on this programme enough times, to see that Tony Basil is in the charts with Mickey. That's at number 39. Down 7 to 38, it's European Sun from Japan, and Black Sabbath, Turn Up the Night, is new in at number 37. New in at 36, Diana Ross and Mirror Mirror. Up 2 places to 35, Trouble from Lindsay Buckingham. Philip Lynott and Yellow Pearl drops 10 places to 34, and still at 33, Listen from Stiff Little Fingers. Having dropped out of the top 40, it's come back in again at number 32, Olivia Newton-John and Landslide. Down 5 places to 31, Ticket to the Moon, Electric Light Orchestra, and Mike Post featuring Larry Carlton moves up 4 places to number 30 with the theme from Hill Street Blues. Another one that came in the charts, dropped out, and has gone back in at number 29, Elkie Brooks and Fool If You Think It's Over. Down 6 places to 28, Don't You Want Me, The Human League. Altered Images and I Could Be Happy drops 10 to number 27. And a new entry at number 26, oh, few smiles, the Jay Giles Band and Centerfold. But still, we have not come to the highest new entry in the charts. Down 6 to 25, I Want to Be a Winner from Brown Sauce. And Dollar with Mirror Mirror drops 8 to 24. Down 2 to 23, Never Give Up on a Good Thing, George Benson. AC/DC and Let's Get It Up drops 8 places to 22. Down 3 to 21, Don't Walk Away from the 4 Tops. And here we go with this week's brand new Top 20. Up 3 places to 20, I Want to Spend Some Time With You from Alton Edwards. Down 8 to 19, I'll Find My Way Home from John and Vangelis. Up 2 to 18, Say Hello, Wave Goodbye from Soft Cell, and XTC with Senses Working Overtime drops 2 places to number 17. Down 6 to 16, Being Boiled, The Human League. And Waiting for a Girl Like You from Foreigner drops 2 places to number 15. Down 6 to 14, Get Down On It from Kool and the Gang, and Shack Attack with Easier Said Than Done just 1 place down to this week's new position of number 13. The highest climber in the charts has moved up no less than 24 places, from last week's 36 to a new position of number 12. It's Haircut 100 and Love Plus One. And a good jump, too, for Daryl Hall and John Oates. I Can't Go For That, No Can Do moves up 16 places to this week's number 11. 1 minute after 1, and here's the top 10. At number 10, down 1 place, Drowning in Berlin from Mobiles. Bucks Fizz, The Land of Make-Believe, drops 5 to number 9, and still we haven't had the highest new entry in the charts this week. Up 21 places to number 8, The Lion Sleeps Tonight from Tight Fit. Still at 7, Arthur's Theme, Christopher Cross. Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark with Maid of Orleans, number 6. Same as last week. Number 5, also in its same position, Dead Ringer for Love from Meatloaf. Kraftwerk, The Model, drops 3 places to number 4. Down 1 place to number 3, Oh Julie from Shakin' Stevens. Up 1 place to number 2, Golden Brown, The Stranglers. Well, we haven't mentioned the highest new entry yet, and we're up to number 1, and I guess you've figured out what that means.
Britain's number 1.
Straight in from absolutely nowhere, there is no stopping the jam. It's Britain's new number 1.